channel may contain details of graphic content. This channel is for mature audiences only. Some viewers might find this disturbing. Cindy Song, born with the name Won Jong Song, was born on February 25th, 1980 in Seoul, Korea. As a young child, she moved to America to live with her aunt and uncle in Virginia to attend school. After graduating high school, Cindy attended Pennsylvania State University, where she majored in integrative arts. Before her disappearance, she was in her senior year and would be graduating in the spring of 2002 that following year. Outside of her classes, Cindy worked 2 part-time jobs. Cindy decided to take some time off to indulge in some Halloween festivities. On the evening of October 31st, 2001, Cindy and her friends Stacy, Pike, and Lisa Kim were off to attend a costume party at the Players nightclub located on West College Avenue. Cindy dressed as a bunny. She wore a pink shirt, pink bunny ears, a white tennis skirt, and a tail. She planned on meeting her 2 friends at the party. The trio stayed at the nightclub until 2 a.m. Afterwards, they decided they wanted to continue partying, so they went to a friend's house. At 4 a.m., Cindy was dropped off outside of her apartment called the Park Apartments, located off Clinton Avenue. This would be the last time anyone saw her. Later that day, Cindy's roommate came home to find Cindy wasn't at home. Her cell phone was left in the apartment, but her purse and wallet were gone. Her overnight bag was also in the apartment, so it was very apparent that Cindy made it into her apartment. 3 days went by without anyone hearing from Cindy. Her friends contacted police on November 4th. It is believed that after Cindy was dropped off that early morning, she went to a nearby 24-hour convenience store in her costume after dropping things in her apartment. Investigators checked her phone records. No calls were made and there wasn't any activity on her credit cards. It was simply as if Cindy Song vanished into thin air. There was no indication that Cindy planned on running away, and according to her family members, she would not leave without warning anyone. She broke up with her boyfriend a month before her disappearance, but her friends stated she was getting over the breakup and was not depressed about it. Prior to her disappearance, she purchased concert tickets that was taking place days later. An email receipt confirmed that she purchased a computer that was set to be delivered on any day. From what investigators could find, Cindy seemed happy. Her disappearance was broadcasted. Missing person flyers were shared, as well as her family addressing the media. Volunteers searched the nearby woods, but there wasn't any trace of Cindy. A potential eyewitness came forward stating that a woman who looked like Cindy was dragged, kicking and screaming into a car. The witness also stated that the man who allegedly took Cindy yelled at any bystanders to leave them alone. This whole ordeal took place in Philadelphia's Chinatown district, almost 200 miles from Sydney's apartment. The case went cold for 2 years until 2003, when a serial killer named Hugo Zelinsky was questioned as a suspect. An informant notified police that Hugo stated he abducted a woman along with his accomplice, Michael Korkowski, and stored her in a walk-in freezer until she died. During Hugo's questioning, he admitted to abducting Sydney, but told investigators that his accomplice admits Michael was the one that killed her. He kept the bunny ears she wore to the party that night as a souvenir. Michael and Hugo had mistaken Sydney as a sex worker. They claimed she was buried in the Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. Investigators searched Hugo's home, and what they discovered was extremely sinister. They discovered multiple bodies buried on his property. None of the bodies were identified as Sydney. Hugo admitted that he killed Michael after learning that Michael allegedly kept Sydney's bunny ears as a souvenir. The discovery of Michael meant that their search for Sydney would come to a dead end. Investigators were unable to prove if Hugo had any involvement of the disappearance of Sydney Song. This past Halloween made 22 years since anyone has heard or seen Sydney Song. Her family are not giving up in searching for her. The Ferguson Township Police Department is still in charge of the case, and they have formed a cold case task force. If anyone knows anything, please contact Ferguson Township Police Department at 814-237-1172.